And we have our second guest on the show, and we're going to be talking to NFL prospect David Pindell. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, what's going on? Appreciate you guys for having me.
Absolutely, my friend. How you doing right now? How's your family?
Everything's going well. Just hanging in there, trying to get as much work in and do as much as I can with the resources I have around me with everything that's going on. But I'm living and handling every day, day by day, doing as much as I can, staying with family, and spend as much time with family as I can.
A lot of social distancing?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a big factor. Trying to get used to the new norm. It's not normal, but we got to get used to it. So just being able to work out one person a day, just getting used to that. Because I'm normally around a group of at least 8-9 people, but just being around one person a day, getting used to it.
Dave, what is it like being a prospect and watching the NFL draft virtually? And you always have the dream that you're going to go to the NFL draft and shake Roger Goodell's hands, and have the experience of walking on that stage and putting on the team's hat and waiting for your name being called.
It's definitely a dream come true. A lot of people don't get this opportunity to even reach the level or just get to the level that I was able to get to. So it's definitely a dream come true. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It took a lot, getting there. Like, a lot of people don't see from outside looking in. I think it's just a chance a lot of players get lucky at. But, a lot of people who get that opportunity, they work their whole life for that, and they put in a lot of work and overtime to get to that opportunity. So, it's a really special moment for a lot of us athletes and football players. And a lot of players are blessed enough to get that opportunity to get the call and, go up on that stage and hear their name called and get selected by a team that wants them.
David, you were a running quarterback when you were at UConn, and a lot of running quarterbacks are thought of when it comes to NFL scouts. Are they going to play quarterback? Are they going to play running back? Are they going to play receiver? When you were proving yourself at the combine and other pro days and stuff like that, did they make you play other positions there? And if so, did you embrace it, or are you surprised they didn't work you out as a quarterback all the time? What was your thought process to all that in terms of what they had you do?
Oh, well, leading up to the draft process, teams were telling me, the best chance for me to make a roster is I had to change my position. But, at my pro day, when I ended up throwing, the scout from the Patriots had told me, you don't have to run any routes or do anything else. We believe you could throw. You have a great arm and anything like that. So I didn't have to run any routes, catch any punts, or do any other drills. I just threw the ball, showed my arm. And then, after that, it just a lot of, when I went to mini camp, it's just they put me at running back. Then they put me at receiver, and they had me at punt return. So it just, it was weird because, there's nothing about me in my film or anything that shows I played any of those positions or that I had any interest in that because, I played quarterback all my life. That's all I trained as. And that's all I've been doing. And for them to just, randomly throw me at 3 positions I've never done, it was hard, but, it was a learning experience, and you learn things every day, and everything happens for a reason. So, I made most of it while I was down there, and, I moved on, went to Montreal, finished the season out in Montreal in the CFL as a quarterback, and which we're in today, still training as a quarterback, and hopefully get signed by a team within the next couple weeks with a CFL draft happening tonight, and going from there.
Is there a player in particular that you've played this past year that you feared or, oh, God, I got to play that guy? Is there a player that you just feared when you stepped on the football field?
I wouldn't say it was a player that I feared, but there was a lot of guys on a lot of different teams that are, they were great players, good competitors. And, it showed they were like that in college. A lot of players I played against in college that were fortunate enough to make it to the next level that still show what they did in college and just transferred over. But, I can't name any individuals, but, there was a lot of teams that, had a bunch of talent. Even throughout the practices, I learned from a lot of players, a bunch of talented players I was able to meet and, just get to watch and learn from. That way, I can pick their brain. I could also, incorporate it in my game as well.
David, you were a running quarterback yourself, obviously, in college. We've discussed on this show many times the running quarterback is becoming kind of that new norm. You have to have some level of mobility with these RPO offenses, these quicker release offenses. Do you think that's headed that way, and do you think it'll last long term, or do you think it's just a phase?
I think it's definitely uh, changing to like a spread no huddle type of college offense, if you would say. That's what the league is going towards, and I think it'll keep going that way as long as a lot of these quarterbacks with these type of skill sets continue to prove themselves and prove that they can win with these type of abilities and these type of offenses. Because at the end of the day, it's all about winning. When you have a quarterback with a skill set that's considered a dual threat or running quarterback, as you would say, with someone that has that ability and can do that, and can also prove that they can win, I feel like the they have no choice but to go towards that direction, because that's what's winning. That's what's making the fans happy.
Dave, what is it like playing for UConn? Over the years, they've been known for a basketball school, and there are a couple of good NFL players that have come from UConn. And we talk about we could talk about some of the running backs and some of the tight ends and some of the wide receivers that have come out of the school, but no quarterback that really stood out. And believe it or not, I have heard of you, David. Is there anything that stood out to you when you decided to go and play for UConn?
Not really. I mean, I narrowed it down to my last two options between Temple and UConn, and they both had good facilities, good programs, good people there. Coaches were really great. The biggest thing for me, I just felt like for me, making my decision to go to UConn over Temple was, I wanted to be in an environment that felt like college, felt like a college town and campus, where, Philly is more of like the city life, a lot more going on in Philly, and compared to Connecticut, where it's like, Stores is in the middle of nowhere, big campus. So that's probably the biggest decision maker of me choosing UConn, just, the campus lifestyle and just having a feel for, being on a campus rather than, being in a downtown city.
In terms of UConn, when you were there, the 2 years you were there, they were in the AAC, which again has become a rising conference, probably maybe the best or second best one of the non-Power 5 conferences. We saw UCF go undefeated and declare themselves national championships, and even teams like Memphis and Cincinnati. What was the toughest team in that conference that you played against in your time there?
There was quite a few teams. A bunch of the teams in that league are actually competitive, and I think they can compete with a bunch of the Power 5 teams. But to say a few, both of the Florida teams, Central and South Florida, they were pretty dominant on both sides of the ball. Had a bunch of great players that I played against. Temple, they always a powerhouse. Competing with a big bunch of Power 5 schools. And another school that's been slept on lately is Cincinnati. They've been having that upcoming their rise the last couple of years with a new coach. They have a pretty good quarterback, I would say, and they've had a pretty good running back the last couple of years. So those are a couple of teams to name in that conference that stood out to me, that gave us a good run. Also, Memphis, they've been pretty solid the last couple of years. So overall, it's just the conference is well rounded. That conference have a lot of good teams, a lot of good competitors that can play at the higher levels or higher conferences, if you would say.
Is there a particular NFL player that's reached out to you when you were going through the whole process of the combine? Is there a player that really stood out and said, I'm going to call David up and try to help him out with this process?
Not really. I don't think a lot of people know about me or still don't know about me yet. I'm still trying to, push my name out there in any way I can with, college being over with. I'm not in college anymore. I think the biggest way I've been, connecting with people and stuff is through my social media. A lot of my individual workouts and football workouts that I post has been reaching people in different locations. I was able to, chat with Shane Boyd, former Kentucky quarterback, and he used to play for the Titans. Vince Young, to name a few, Des Bryant, and things like that. They see my workout video and they say they like my workouts and they like to see what I'm doing. So that's the biggest way I've reaching out to people and getting my name out there across the globe just by my social media posts. So for me right now is just, continue doing my posting and continue just working on showing what I can do.
David, growing up, when you fell in love with the game of football, who are your main influences, either as a quarterback or as a football player, that you watched a lot and, again, looked at tape a lot and got you in love with the game?
I got into football my sophomore year of high school, so that's when I first started probably watching and stuff. So
Wow.
It was Michael Vick and Aaron Rodgers. Those are my two favorite players. That's who I, look up to, try to model my game after them too. So
When you think of hobbies that you have, and everybody's got a hobby. My hobby, if I'm not doing radio or I'm not DJing, because I do that on the side, I love to dance. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do off the field?
I like to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like?
Walks. Mostly hip hop, but I've actually been listening to a bunch of Latino music lately. I can't understand it, but I definitely like the instrumentals of it. So I have like a whole playlist of Latino music, and then the instrumentals I just like listening to them.
Talking about your post-college experience, you had a workout with the XFL in Dallas with the Dallas Renegades before the league, and ultimately we just had the hiatus, and now the league is potentially going bankrupt. Do you think it will come back next year? And if so, do you think it will succeed if it comes back?
I can't really tell what's going to happen with everything going on, because we're not even certain that we'll even have an NFL or CFL season this season. So, with the XFL, understand what's going on with like them folding, and don't know if they're going to be here next year or not. But I'm sure everyone is looking forward to them being here next year. Everybody wants them to be here next year because the past first 5 weeks that they had, they got a lot of people's attention. Everybody was enjoying it, and it was exciting. Watching a new league of football, and a lot of players chase their dreams and get an opportunity to show what they can do. It was really exciting for people to watch that. So I think we're all pushing for it to come back out next year and to just be most successful as possible.
David, this year in the draft, there were 14 wide receivers drafted in the first 2 rounds, which is most ever. And we've seen a couple of years ago, there were 5 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, which is the first time ever. When you look at the speed of the game and these athletes, we have 365-pound linemen running a 5.1 at the 40-yard combine. Now, do you think the game is just getting faster and the players are just getting faster than the game?
Yeah, definitely. Every year there's a new group of talent coming in, and as the years come, it just seems like the talent is getting faster and faster. They're getting better, and they're also getting smarter. So I just think as time comes, this new generation of athletes and breed of kids, they just they're better athletes than the previous one. So, working out, training, the facilities, coaches, these strength and conditioning coaches, I think that have a lot to do with them. They're putting these good programs together for these guys and having them on the right workout regimen, and, have them eating right and, doing the right things to take care of their body. And, a bunch of the unnormal things are starting to become normal.
Last question for me, David. You were talking about the speed of the game and the offensive game that it has come now. Do you think that has to do more with the coaches being more offensive, a lot of offensive head coaches? Is it system? Is it just the way the game is now? Or do you think it's more with, again, the way these guys are built in terms of working at a younger age, maybe more than ever, putting speed on at a younger age? What do you contribute most to that?
Probably, if I had to say, I just think, football has become a big thing across the globe. So, a lot of kids, they have, personal trainers. They invest into their football careers at an earlier age now, where, they get individual training, speed training at an early age, from 7th grade, 8th grade, throughout high school, and then throughout post-college and going into college. They just have so many private trainers and private instructors that, train these kids, do speed work with them at an early age. And by the time, they get to college, it's just like they're so mature and they're so ready to, just show their full potential. So I think it has a lot to do with, coming up as an early age, working out at an early age, and training at an early age.
David, before we let you go, who's your favorite hip hop artist?
Right now, it's been YG lately, but he hasn't been dropping any music lately, so I've been listening to a lot of Lil Durk, Turbo. No.
Very interesting.